one step away from salvation. You're like the ocean, setting me free. Out in the open, I'm picking up speed. No bad thoughts penetrate. Hold me like this is the first time. Our destiny calls, not leaving this incomplete. Won't you lay it on me? Turn the page and burn it. Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighters, and throw our problems in the flame. Throw our problems in the flame. And throw our problems in the flames. Ooh, throw our problems in the flames. I get a little bit breathless.
Hi, everybody. It's Don and it's
Tony.
Tony.
Me. Hey, what's up, everybody?
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good. Just watching that intro, it just makes my heart warm. We have done some pretty amazing things. I was sitting here thinking, this time last year we were gearing up to go to Australia for New Year's Eve. It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, we're living the life, as some people will say. And by the way, I had to put the hat on because of the comment that I saw down there. So yeah, we're switching it up. I put on the hat, but I can't stand it. I have to take it off.
Look good in the hat there, Don. It was nice. It's good stuff.
It feels really tight.
That's right.
So hi everybody, and just a quick thing: if you're looking to ask a question to either one of us or both of us, please type in question first so we can see it in the chat. They are going to go by 1,000,000 miles an hour. We just jumped from 100 watching in 5 minutes ago to 500 watching in like 30 seconds. So
wow.
it's gonna get going. And by the way, I saw a question. People asked us, Rush or Triumph? I had to say Triumph because Geddy Lee appeared with Bob and Doug in one of my all-time favorite joke songs, if you will, Take Off by Bob and Doug McKenzie. So what would you say, Tony? Rush or Triumph?
I would say Rush, but Geddy Lee is in Rush, Don. You might be. Are you thinking Geddy Lee's in Triumph?
You know what? Did I get it wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, I did, didn't I? Geddy Lee's in Rush.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm doing Rush too. Okay,
Rush,
I'm agreeing with everybody else then.
Yes.
So, Tony, I heard you were a little apprehensive about going to the volcano that we got planned.
It was, I guess I was a little apprehensive. I booked it and I was excited. And that night, as I was reflecting over those excursions, I just thought about that documentary about White Island, and just like, there was a couple there, the newlywed couple, and it was really so sad and really kind of interesting from a relationship perspective. It was the husband's day to pick the excursion, and the wife didn't really want to go to the volcano, but it was the husband's day. And of course he picked the volcano. They both survived, fortunately, but unfortunately they were burned really bad with steam. Yeah. And it's just a horrible tragedy. But then on top of that, I can imagine for the rest of his life, she'd be like, you had to pick the volcano, did you? You had to pick the volcano. Right. But what I understand about Mount Etna is it's one of the most monitored volcanoes in the world, and they have a pretty good warning system on it. So I don't think I'm too apprehensive about it. But when we get there, if they say that the thing's acting up, then maybe we do something different. I don't know.
That's a nice thing. Mind if it's acting up. Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. And I don't usually book things. I mean, we're 50, 60 days, and well, not 60, but I think we're probably like 49, 50 days at this point. And I really never book anything that far out, but I'm so excited about these ports that I wanted to make sure, because a lot of times we show up and the stuff that seems really interesting is booked up, and we're kind of just picking and choosing. So I wanted to make sure that we were kind of on the front end of that. But yeah, so the beautiful thing about pre-booking excursions is as long as you cancel, I think Princess is 24-hour cancellation. If we get there and, a couple days before and we don't want to go, at least we can cancel. But Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to that trip quite a bit. What now? I know you've been to those ports before. Are you more excited for the ship or the ports, or are they neck and neck?
I'm pretty excited for the ship because it's the whole new design, right?
Yeah.
Just like going on the Icon, it's a whole new design. So I'm looking forward to this. And this is the first time Princess has gone this big with 2 different entertainment venues as well as 2 entertainment directors on board. So it should, all new shows should be really crazy. Really looking forward to that. And I am looking forward to Pompeii. Haven't been to Pompeii before, so
cool.
That should be a fun one for us. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm really looking forward to the ship also. It's like, and we got to get you on one of these new Carnival ships. They really did something different when they went to their 2 entertainment venues and kind of the layout of that XL class. And I really feel like, somebody's working together there to say, okay, let's do something transformative for Princess. And I like Princess design now. I like those big atriums and kind of the layout, all that kind of stuff. But I really think it's going to be something special. The interesting thing, and I'll break the news here, we are booked on your December group cruise. We have a cabin.
Did you?
We have a cabin secured, my lovely Jenny and I. And what was funny is when she booked it, she goes, "Now you and Don can't go to that new Love restaurant. I expect you to wait until it's just you and I to go to the Love restaurant." So I hadn't even thought about maybe going to the Love restaurant with you, Don, but I guess it's off the table.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to go to that, but people say we have a bromance going anyway when we're cruising. So,
okay, so we'll have to look at that from a distance, I guess.
I a couple quick things. I really like this comment. I thought it was really nice from Sandra. "Why are you both so nice and special?" I really appreciate that. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Donna, and I thought that was cute. So, what's your favorite cruise ever, Tony?
It's tough. I mean, it's on so many different levels. It's hard to say. I mean, of course, the trip that we took to Japan is the one that always comes top of mind when you ask me what my favorite cruise was. But there's so many competing memories. Anytime I get to cruise with Jenny, the first time that we went on the Oasis, cruise ship, Oasis of the Seas, I think it was just down to Roatan or something, but our minds were both blown by that ship, and just being able to experience that together. That's probably one of my favorite cruise memories. Seeing Jenny in Cuba, where some of her family came from, that was one of my favorite memories. But then when it comes to being on the road and being world explorers, you and I have really tackled some great things. I mean, that trip to Japan, the trip to Australia, just the time that we spent in Europe, it's easy to start filling out a top 10 favorite cruises with those kind of experiences.
Yeah. And now with this year, we're starting off in the Med.
Yeah.
Can't go too wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I feel very fortunate for the places I was able to go last year, and I wanted to keep that momentum going. And so I'm glad that early in the year I'm able to go to a new place. And then excitingly, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a surgery. It's going to take me out of pocket for about a month. But then I get to go back to the Med with the lovely Jenny B, and we get to do that without flying. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm excited that she's going to get to see some of those places too. So 2024 is starting out pretty sweetly.
There you go. Quick question. What do you think is better, loyalty program, Princess or Royal? I'll go first. They're both pretty good. I'm elite with both. I love Princess. I like the fact I get discounts on a lot of things with their loyalty program. I get the laundry and I get the bar set up for free. That's a big thing. But Royal, you get those drinks for free every day as well, which can save you buying a whole drink package. So I like them both. I get priority boarding for both, so I think they're pretty equal. What do you think?
Yeah, now that Princess Plus and Princess Premier is a decision that you have to make, whether you're going to spend that money or not, it was nice when that was kind of, it's changed a little bit, and it becomes a question. We don't drink a lot, and so I love the fact that you get those 4 free drinks on Royal. But to your point, Princess, I'm getting a big discount on the internet. I don't know if I'm getting free laundry at Platinum. Is that part of Platinum, or is that just Elite?
I think Platinum, you get it at that point. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, laundry is always a plus. And of course, the discounts on the internet and stuff's the plus. But the idea of being able to go on, It's a tough call for me because I like Royal because they have a Starbucks and plus I get the 4 free drinks. But I would have to look at both of those packages side by side to figure out what's better. But both of them have some really good perks.
Yeah. Quick shout out here to Matt. Thanks, Matt. Question is Tony and Jenny joining us on the Alaska cruise next year?
We have nothing scheduled for Alaska for middle of the year, and we do like to go to Alaska, so probably a good possibility.
May. I'll get you on there. Just
you're going.
Asking.
You're going in May.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see because we're going to go to the Med at the end of March into April. I don't know. I don't think we have much after that. So I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But I know we'd like to spend a couple weeks in Alaska. We want to try a new cruise line, maybe try Holland. But Princess is great too. So if we do 2 weeks, who knows?
Here's a quick thanks again, Matt. Here's a quick question for you. Hi guys. I know Tony loved the Prima a few months ago, and you said you might book the Viva. Any plans for that for both of us? Any plans for the Viva yet?
The only challenge for me is Prima and Viva are just both doing the Caribbean. And again, I'm trying to continue to branch out a little bit. I do like the ship. I would like to see the Viva, but I don't have anything planned right now. I guess I could make a quick announcement before I let you do that. I am going to go back on MSC. I found a 3-day or 2-day really MSC cruise coming up just after the beginning of the year, which I didn't even know they were doing this, but MSC Seashore, Port Canaveral to the private island, back to Port Canaveral. So I'm going to sneak on there just so I can make a little video of the Seashore. But if I could pull off something like that on the Viva, where it's just a quick trip and I get to, because those trips would be more about the ship for me than the destination, I would probably do it. But yeah, I like the Prima. What do you think, Don? You get plans for Prima or Viva?
I am actively trying to schedule 3 different cruise lines right now. I'm trying to schedule Virgin Cruise Lines, Carnival. I want to get on with their new ships, as well as the Prima or the Viva. I think I'd like to try. I want to see Beetlejuice. I think that would be cool to see. So I might try and get on to see that. But I'm trying to get fitted in my schedule now that I have a few things from the travel agency booked already. That I have to accept because I'm training some more people next year. So I just wanted to make sure, but I definitely want to get back on them. And I haven't seen that class, so I want to see what that class is all about. So we'll see what that's,
With you
I know you
being
hate about it. So.
Yeah, Summer, the show, I think you'd probably enjoy Beetlejuice better than Summer. Summer was pretty good show about Donna Summer, but I think if I was going to choose between the two, I'd probably try to get and see Beetlejuice. So yeah, that'd be a good choice.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Any idea when the new Princess app will come online? Well, it was supposed to be out on the 3rd. It hasn't. So your guess right now is as good as mine that they keep on bragging that it's going to be so much faster and better and more things to do. But they're having complications with it right now. People are trying to connect to it, and it like in the testing, and it's just not working. So I'd rather them have it running and take longer than rush it out, right? It's like the video games nowadays, right? When you buy a video game, they say it'll be really good 6 months from now.
Well, the app is such an integral part of that Princess experience right now that you don't want it to suck. You know what I mean? Like, so I think being cautious is probably better for the cruise experience, and make sure to test and retest before they roll that app out. Because if all of a sudden they roll the app out and you've got a couple. Imagine several of their cruises disrupted because the app's not working correctly, you're going to have a lot of dissatisfied people. So I'd say test and retest. For sure. Just got off the Celebrity Summit, and we love the smaller size ship. Do you think Celebrity will only build Edge class mega ships from now on? I don't know if they're going to keep the Edge class. I know they like that design and everything, but they might. The next one they design might be slightly smaller than that. It's a lot of upkeep, a lot of work on those kind of ships, but they are definitely going suite, right? When they go on those Edge class, every time they build a new one, there's more suites involved, than like the Ascent has more suites than the Beyond has more suites than the Apex, etc. But I was on the Celebrity Summit. I actually took Alicia with me on that, and because it's such a small ship, we were able to get
an upgraded suite on those, like 2 suites on that ship for the same price. We would have got a mini suite on the Edge class, and I mean a good suite. Like we had private bedroom, jacuzzi on the pool, on the deck, all that kind of stuff. So it was,
those are nice. It's an interesting thing because obviously the cruise companies want to take advantage of economies of scale. And so if they can build a big ship that has, a suite area and fill it up, the Icon is a great example. Huge cruise ship, completely sold out at astronomically high prices. I don't see why they wouldn't keep building big cruise ships if they can fill them up. But I think it's going to turn out to be a challenge for people that like smaller and medium-sized ships. I think you're going to have to move up to a more exclusive line like an Oceana, or even like MSC's, new Journeys Explorer's Journey. Those are smaller cruise ships, but those are expensive too. So I think just even the price of trying to cruise smaller, cruise medium is going to be more expensive. You're either going to have to cruise small, you're either going to have to pay up, or cruise older, smaller ships. So it's a thing.
Maybe move to a line like Holland America that hasn't gone to the mega ships yet.
Yeah.
Right. So
the last vestige yet.
What are our thoughts on Mediterranean cruises, including the Holy Land in 2025 with the war? Who knows, right?
I think the cruise companies will stay far away, right? Like, that's the worst headline you could get. Hey, we took a cruise even close to a scary place and somebody got killed. And
there's going to have to be no activity, no warnings, no nothing for a good 6 months before they even think of scheduling another ship.
Because they canceled stuff like next year. It's just one of those things, man. It's unfortunate. I always had one of my bucket lists was to go to St. Petersburg. And of course, when, Russia and Ukraine went to war, it's not even close to being on the radar anywhere of going back. So.
Somebody's on the Enchanted Princess and said the yes, no show yesterday was hilarious. Now, I don't know, Tony, that when I won the yes, no game show, you said she took it easy on me.
I think the fix was in. Like, I think Olivia felt bad for you. She was barely asking any questions. I don't know what the deal was.
But don't forget, I threw in that morbid answer.
That's true.
And it threw her for a loop.
She's a trained professional. I saw her taking down people within seconds, and I think she let you off the hook. I was glad to see you win. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it seemed like instead of playing baseball, you're playing softball there. I don't know.
Yeah. But I was surprised at one too, to be honest. But she was bragging all day to the coworkers that she was going to take me down. So I was very happy to do that.
It's the second time we cruised with Olivia. Really good cruise director. Like she's funny and a really good cruise director. So I couldn't, when we first got on the ship, I couldn't remember where we cruised with her before. But I think we were like you said, on her first job,
ever,
job as a cruise director. That was the 15-day Panama Canal, and it was a really great cruise.
Yep. Do you guys have any interest in an Antarctica cruise? I do. It's one of my bucket list cruises now to do before I'm too old to go down there. I want to still be healthy enough to get around and climb out in those Zodiacs, and away I go. So
it's pretty interesting. Like, Jay from the Ship Life, I ran into him before our Caribbean Princess cruise, and he was able to go there last year. And I asked him, like, was it like, because when you watch his video, it seemed like most days it was hit or miss whether they were going to be able to do the excursions or whatever. And he said that there was an element of that, but he also said that once you were able to go out to those places, it was pretty amazing. But just weird stuff like, you'd get on a Zodiac and maybe go to a little piece of land, and then if the weather came in, you were kind of just stuck there for a little bit. So it sounds like a real adventure down there, and I think it'd be cool.
I'm all in for the adventure. Like, that's why I want to go to Africa. I want to do a safari and a river cruise down in Africa.
Yeah.
So, Larry had a question. When are the other cruise lines going to do the Princess Medallion thing? I think MSC is as close as you're going to get right now, right? To the medallion.
Once you get on Virgin's like that. They have a wearable that you wear on your wrist. It's not I don't think it's as sleek looking as the medallion, but the whole thing it works the same way. And then I did hear that Royal was working on something too, but and Disney has the technology with their parks. So I'm surprised it's not completely rolled out on their cruise ships. But I think as time goes on, it just seems like that's the right way to do it. But maybe trying to scale it up or something. I don't know how many ships Princess has, but not as many as Carnival and Royal. So maybe it's a little harder for the bigger lines to deploy something like that. But it just makes sense to me that they all go that way. It's so nice. I mean, that's one of the nicest things about Princess. You just put your medallion on a wrist strap, and then it's just everything's just easier.
And even just, I wonder if Tony's on his way to the casino, and I can find you on the app and see where you are, right? If
that's a really cool aspect of it.
Did that. You're going on the Jubilee very soon. So just saw a video from Derek on the Island Time that he had to have a negative COVID test before cruising on the Jubilee. Are you aware of this requirement?
I just booked an excursion on my Jubilee coming up on the 20th, and I didn't see anything that said I needed a negative COVID test. I haven't checked in yet, so I'll take a look at it, but I would be surprised. Like I haven't heard that, but I know Derek. I mean, like if he said it, then it's probably accurate, but I'll have to go look and see where he said it. But I haven't seen anything on my upcoming stuff that said that.
Yeah. I'm going to Rio. I'm in Buenos Aires. We're in Barcelona, Rome, and none of them say anything about requiring a COVID test or anything like that. You would think they would be the first ones, like going to another country, right?
Yeah.
But haven't seen anything yet. Many more. I did see, did you know Allison from Let's Go Travel Tips? Hi,
Yes.
Allison. I think you're in here somewhere. I saw somebody said hi. I believe they're coming on the Sun Princess as well.
Yeah, I was telling Jenny I was excited. We got to connect a little bit earlier this year, and I want to spend some more time with them. So I'm kind of excited that they're supposed to be on the Sun with us.
Yeah, I ran into them again after the vlogger cruise in the airport and got a chance to say hi a little bit longer in there. So that was fun. If you could have a private yacht tour, which ports would you visit? Well, it depends on where. But I think a private yacht in the Med where they can go into those smaller islands and places like that, or even Fiji area would be amazing.
Yeah, I've watched, and I think you've watched the Below Deck before, or whatever. And one of those ships was always stationed on the eastern side of Italy, so on the backside of the boot. And I guess that little area there, the other side of the coast is split Croatia. It's some of the prettiest things I've ever seen. So I think if I was living that yacht life, even though I'm not so much Mr. Fun in the Sun, I would like to be in that part of the Med and go to Croatia. I think that would be kind of cool.
Greetings from Guadalajara. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite ship buffet? Oh, Merry Christmas, Cheryl. Right back at you. I'll let you go with this one. I know what mine is right away.
Mine would be Holland America Line on the Rotterdam because they had taco bar every day. Taco bar.
I have to say the Edge class ships on Celebrity have an amazing buffet.
Yeah.
Like it's set up perfectly. Lots of choices every night. They'll fry a steak up for you there if you want. I really thought they do a really good job as far as a buffet is concerned.
Yeah, so many choices. I mean, the fact that you can get any kind of grill, like you get the chicken and fish there also, like they'll make grilled food for you on demand, which it's kind of funny. Like if you think about, Carnival going through Omelet Gate, you've got Celebrity sitting there. Like you're right. It's a pretty amazing buffet.
Yeah, it is pretty. That and Royal, the large ships have some pretty nice buffets as well.
Yeah, well, remember that time? I don't know which sailing of the Wonder, whether the redo or the first one, but that first day on the Wonder buffet where they had like all that seafood and
that was the opening day. Yeah,
steaks and it was pretty good spread.
I saw a question. I'm booked in February on the Celebrity Summit. Another one going on the Summit in February. People say now that I'm in my 60s that I should start drinking. Should I? Hey, You know what? I'm not a big drinker, but I'll have the odd drink here and there.
Yeah.
And if I have a drink package, I'll have maybe one extra.
Yeah.
On a day.
Yeah, the drink package makes a difference because I don't drink much either, but on the Caribbean Princess, we were trying drinks and, that kind of stuff.
What's the drink of the day today? Oh, I'll try
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah. I think I've said that a couple times before. Like if I make it into my 80s or something, every kind of vice that I've never given into, I'm going to try it, So I don't know. I don't know if that's good advice or bad advice.
Before I continue, I just want to put out a little self-promotion here. We got 1,000 some people watching. We only have 100 likes so far.
What?
Oh, what's going on?
You guys gotta
do your cruising. Like do cruising, Tommy. Do this.
Cruising.
There you go. Okay, now that should
hit
be good
like
for
button.
another 100 likes right there.
Yeah. Click it.
Somebody's asking which May Alaska cruise. We are on the 19th of May, Majestic Princess out of Seattle, 7-day Alaska cruise. That's our group cruise going there. And we're actually just sending out messages this week for final payments coming due on that. So we're looking forward to having being able to finalize all the arrangements for that. Once final payments in, that's when I can contact the cruise line and say, hey, I need this, I need that, etc. So
are you just doing a week? Or are you staying longer, or you going home after that?
I normally do 2. But this one's out of Seattle, so we'd have to do back-to-back out of Seattle kind of thing. So I might look for something else, maybe down the coast.
There you go.
And go from there. So, but because normally I would do north-south out of Vancouver.
Yeah.
But I just found with a group, it's so much easier to fly into one city like Seattle than to try and fly out of Anchorage. And yeah, not a lot of fun. Don, will I be cruising on the Carnival Jubilee? I will try. I would have been on with Tony on the 20th, but I got invited to the Icon. So now Tony gets to cover the new Jubilee, and I'll cover the Icon, and you guys get to see both of those big new ships. So
yeah,
that's the best of both worlds.
I can't wait to see the stuff coming off the Icon. That's gonna be pretty cool.
It should be. I hope everything's ready for both of them, right? You got a little more time on your hand. You got about a month or so of them getting it ready, right? So.
Yeah, I think mine will be in pretty good shape. I mean, it's the 3rd iteration of that ship. What they do though is they do tweak it a little bit. Like even just what I saw the other day from Doug, the color schemes are different and different menu items. But I think they'll have it ready. They've got a new show on there. I tell you what I'm excited about, Don, and I know you love the game show. For the first time ever, when I was on the Celebration in October, I sat down and watched their version of the Family Feud. Like it's fully licensed from the people that put the show on. It was so entertaining. I'm just looking forward to spending one night watching. They had 3 shows, and so it's a different team every time. I'm looking forward to seeing the Family Feud on the Jubilee.
Yeah. Don, how come no group cruises on NCL? Okay. Here's the issue for me. I'm in Canada, and so I'm a Canadian agent. So when I book American clients, some cruise lines have different things that I can't do. For instance, Norwegian and Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, I can't book insurance for anybody. So everyone would have to find their own insurance, or I would have to find a third party to offer it and have to contact everybody that go to those people, etc. Where right now with Princess, I can book everything for everybody, which is a one-click, one-stop. And you know me, I'm big on insurance. And so that's been a big drawback. Now, I am working with those cruise lines for 2025. They all want me to do groups. And I said, well, you got to solve that issue first. Also, with Norwegian, if I book an American client, I can't see them online. I can only see my Canadian clients online. I have to call in for every single person. And when you have 300 people, if you have to call in for every time you want to make a slight change or add a name or add a birthday, it's just a pain in the butt. So right now, that's what they're working on with me. But I let my travel agency, Travel Only, say, hey, here, you guys sort it out. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll be glad to book. Because I'd love to try some of the other ships. I really would. What was you guys only did Carnival, right? Basically? For your groups?
No, we've done
you did the Blogger cruise.
We've done I think 3 Norwegians at this point. We had a group cruise on the Prima. We had a group cruise on the Encore in Alaska. Of course, we were part of the Vloggers Cruise, which was an NCL. We've done a Princess group cruise, and we've done normally our Halloween group cruise is Carnival.
Yeah.
So we tried through
tradition for you guys, kind of thing.
The interesting thing though is, and I know it's nice. I know that people want group cruises across a lot of different cruise lines, but the other thing when it's a lot of effort to put on these group cruises, and so when you really find a team of people that will work with you and accommodate your group well, which Princess does really great with that, it's almost hard to try something else too. So, I mean, there's a little bit of an element of that too. If you go to one cruise line and they don't give you a place for your meetings, and it's you're jumping through hoops and it's not good, then you're more inclined to go with somebody who's going to work with you. So I think there's some of that sometimes in our decision making, at least.
Yeah, I remember on the Vlogger cruise, like I wasn't running it. You guys had to run it all, and I remember like you bring in 900 people on board, and they wanted to charge you $25 or something for the microphone.
Yeah. Hey, can we get a mic for this room? Yeah, if you're willing to pay. It's like, of course we're willing to pay. It's like so dumb that in the middle of this you're haggling over a $25 microphone,
Yeah. Meanwhile, me on my Princess cruise with like 110 people on it, they were just asking me what I needed. Here you go. Yeah. Here you go. That's sometimes the difference, right?
Yeah, definitely.
When you're doing stuff like that. Do we see very many single cruisers attending specialty dining venues? You know what? Believe it or not, I see a lot of people sitting by themselves, just enjoying a specialty restaurant. I've done it myself, but I go there to, like, I just did a Celebrity Ascent. I had a couple meals there all by myself. And I
don't think it's not uncommon. There's usually, I think, almost anytime I've ever gone to a specialty restaurant, I've seen somebody doing it solo.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Tony. Why don't you do group cruises? Well, they did. They just stopped recently. So, and why?
Yeah. So we did 6 years worth of group cruises. I think we had our first group cruise we started in 2017 cruising, and we had our first group cruise in 2018. We just did our last Halloween group cruise. And it's just one of those things I don't know. I don't assume that everybody is like me, but I like when you do something over and over and over again. I think it's good sometimes to take a break and reevaluate and see if people are getting from it what they want to get from it, and if we're getting from it what we want to get from it. And so I think we've decided to take 2024 to reevaluate how we do that kind of. This is what I really like. I like the fact that we can have events where we get to hang out with other people, and people get to hang out with us, and people get to make friends, that kind of thing. And so we're just evaluating in 2024, is the traditional group cruise model the way to do that? Is there another way to do that? That's I think that's the biggest thing, because sometimes you can get yourself in a rut just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And for us, we felt like we were a little bit in that rut, and so we wanted to take a break and take another look at it. But definitely going to miss it. Like, I've already thought about, I see a lot of other people doing stuff at Halloween, and it's like, oh man, I'm going to miss that interaction with everybody at Halloween. But I do think it's good to step back and evaluate, and then come back and do something different. So stay tuned for that. But I think there's going to be a good little break here in 2024 before we do anything else.
Makes sense to me. Do you guys like the NCL Breakaway or the Regal Princess? They're trying to decide. It kind of decide, like, they're kind of different cruise lines and different personalities, right? Regal is the second of the Royal class, so it's an older version. Still a nice ship, but an older version. It all depends, I guess. You'll have more entertainment on the Regal, like different varieties every night, but you'll have the bigger show on the Breakaway.
Yeah.
If you're into the entertainment.
Yeah, I would say, are you rock and roll or are you classical music?
Yeah.
It's like a very simple way to look at it. I think the NCL vibe is just a little more kind of edgy, I think, and a little more leans a little more into the party side of it. But both have great entertainment, both have great food options. But yeah, I guess it just depends what your vibe is. If you're a little more rock and roll than classical, I would go with NCL.
Yeah, and I'd say there's probably about a 10-year age gap from the average cruiser between the two. For our first cruise in the Caribbean, when is the best time of year and which is the most user-friendly port to sail from? For Caribbean or Caribbean, depending on what you want to say. I'd almost say Fort Lauderdale is a pretty simple cruise port to sail out of, really user-friendly.
Port Canaveral, I like for that. Also, Miami's probably the one that I feel like least
it's the hardest.
Friendly.
Yeah,
it's the hardest. And then I would go like at the end of the year or the beginning of the year. You can avoid hurricane season a little bit, so before June, and then after November, it's hard to predict it, right? We had all this bad weather in December, but from a temperature perspective, from being overly hot, you're going to get a nice temperature early in the year, end of the year. But if you go like to the Caribbean in July, it's hot. And sometimes, I know that's what you want for a beach vacation, but sometimes it's too hot.
Yeah. Super sticker. Thanks, Desiree. Really appreciate that. I also have Junebug is in there, but it hasn't popped up on my screen yet. Thank you so much. They say they appreciate both of our channels. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Woo. What's your biggest tip thing to know for doing a back-to-back cruise? You're probably gonna have to get off the ship and go through customs. And sometimes it's very smooth, and sometimes it's 3 hours. So be prepared. Don't just assume it's going to be 5 minutes and you're stuck waiting to get back on the ship for 3 hours. So if it's chilly out, bring a sweater, prepare yourself, depending on what your cruise port is.
Yeah, if you're booking back-to-back, try to book the same cabin. That way you don't have to move your luggage. And then when it comes to packing, try to pack 6 days worth of clothes and do laundry. That way you can pack light. It's nice. If you don't have to change cabins, it's great because you already have your stuff there. And if you can get your laundry done toward the end of the cruise, it's like starting fresh. So, sometimes you think, I'm traveling for 2 weeks, I need more stuff. But the nice thing about doing a back-to-back on a cruise ship is they can normally take care of your stuff, get it clean for you. So I wouldn't overpack. Yeah,
for sure. No matter what, I go for a week. I bring my one suitcase with me. I'm going away for a month. Still only pack one suitcase every single time. Have you heard of any updates of when more cruises lines will start using Starlink? Well, pretty much most of them have switched over or saying they're switched over.
Yeah.
The Caribbean Princess hasn't switched over yet that we just came off of. You could tell. Unfortunately, but most of them are going to switch over. It's just a matter of when they're going to get in to do it.
Yeah, I think it was a story this week that Holland finished with, I think, the Koningsdam that just came out of dry dock.
That was their last one.
That was their last one. So Holland is, what is it, 11 ships, 14 ships? I don't know. But they're completely done. So I think we're getting there. And then I did do some research on Starlink. They've deployed more satellites too. So the web of satellites that are starting to circumnavigate the globe are becoming more and more. So it's becoming a really kind of fast solution. So yeah, as soon as everybody gets to it, the better. So
a couple quick super chats here. Is that going to pop up for me? I'm trying to put it up. It's not going to pop up there. All right. Oh, I might have to hide that. And nope, it's still not going to pop up. I got to find it. Well, I'll read it anyway, no matter what. Thank you for feeding their cruise addiction. I wasn't sure things would get back to near normal after the human malware of March 2020. Us too. We didn't know if that was going to be a thing or not, right? How long did we just wonder what was going on day after day after day, right?
Yeah, I think it was a good 18 months that we were done and we were out, like no cruising. And then it was so weird when you came back with all the masking and separation and all that stuff. So it's those were some days where it really was like, is it going to get back to normal or is cruising back to normal? But I feel like we're pretty close to normal now.
Yeah. And sorry, I got a quick super sticker from Lorelei. Thank you so much. And I got a question for you, Tony. How are you doing your Europe cruise without flying?
So I don't know the ships. I really need to put it in my shipmate. I think I know the one coming back. at some point in March, we're going to go get on a ship, a celebrity ship in Fort Lauderdale, and we're going to sail to Barcelona. And then I think it's 7 or 10 days later, we're going to get on the Carnival Glory, Pride, Spirit. I don't know. We're going to get on a Carnival cruise ship in Barcelona and come back to Fort Lauderdale. So no, we come back to Port Canaveral. I think it's even easier than that. But yeah, so Jenny B is going to be able to go over there. We still have this gap once we get to Barcelona. We don't know if we're going to stay and explore Barcelona or if we're going to try to do another cruise around the Med so that Jenny can see some of the Med ports. But we still have that as an open item to figure out. But yeah, she'll make it to Spain and then home from Spain, all on a cruise ship without having to fly. So that's it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and in case anyone's ever wondering, Tony is the worst to ask what ship are you on when you're cruising. You have to ask Jenny.
Yeah,
Jenny tracks all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm good once I get there. Like I'm pretty much in the cut and I understand everything that's going on. But look, I'm wacky. I'm always thinking about what I actively pursue not putting things in my brain unless I don't need them there. If it's anything that I could look up, then I try not to remember it. So I have room for other stuff. But not that there's a lot of room in it. Well, there's probably a lot of rooms like wide open, but yeah.
Are you guys doing the Icon inaugural? I'm going and I'm excited. Yeah, I guess that would be exciting. I'm actually on the 3-day, one of the 2 3 days that are being done before the inaugural sailing. They invited me down to the first one. They wanted me on the second one, but I got to get down to Rio de Janeiro for another cruise at that time. So, but no, I'm not on the inaugural, unfortunately. And my other cruise that I was going to book like a month later, I canceled. Because it was $7,000 for a balcony.
Whew.
And I thought that's just a little crazy right now, considering I'm going to be on it for 3 days anyway. So I'll get to see her. And then I'll wait for the price to drop just a little bit before we get going on that.
I'm never one to beg for content, but you got to do a ship tour, Don.
I will do a ship tour on that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we're going anywhere. I think we're just going to bring out to sea and then say, hey, here's our ship, guys. Show everybody. So...
That'd be cool.
Leaving on the Carnival Magic in 8 days, what's a good excursion in St. Thomas? That's one of your favorite ports.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is to get Don drunk in St. Thomas, or at least that's what I did the last time I was there.
I had two drinks. That's all I had.
At the same time. There's some really cool stuff to do in St. Thomas. You can take an excursion through the cruise line, or there's a little tourism board right there when you get off the ship. There's a famous thing. If you go up the mountaintop, there's a gift shop and a banana daiquiri bar up there. But what's even cooler than those things is they have an observation deck where you can see, I think, like 7 islands there. That's a part of the Virgin Islands. That's a really nice thing to do. Go get yourself a banana daiquiri, take a look. Magens Bay is one of the most famous beaches in the entire world. And I've gone and swam in Magens Bay before. But if you just want to knock around the cruise port, you can walk and go to that cable cars that we went to. You can go up to this overlook and look down on your cruise ships, and they got, good food and drink right there. It's a really nice port. St. Thomas, it's one of the most beautiful ports to me in the Caribbean, just the marina that you're in and all of those things. So, yeah, if you want to venture out and see a little bit of the island, I would do some sort of tour that took you up the mountaintop. But if you want to stay around the cruise ship, I would go up that observation on the and there's a pirate museum I don't think we've ever been in.
No.
Right next to the cable car. So if you like the pirate stuff, there's a pirate museum there also.
Yeah. And don't have 2 drinks when you haven't eaten anything
at the same time.
At the same time, that was a bad idea on my part. This is a kind of an interesting question. When we hang out, which of us is Oscar and which of us is Felix?
We don't really room together, so I don't know the level of messiness. I'm pretty tidy when it comes to my cabin, though.
Me too.
I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, I think we might both be Oscar in that, but no, I don't know. I don't know what would be a good comparison for us traveling as when we travel. It's definitely not an odd couple thing, but yeah, I think we're both kind of tidy, at least in that aspect.
Yeah, I think I might be that guy who is tendency to speak up quicker than you sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm more observational than confrontational. It's like I don't know, but yeah.
like when we were on the last sailing there and the people were talking during that shark thing, I just wanted to get up and walk over and tell them to shut up. But I was with you guys and I said, I'm not going to cause a scene.
Yeah. I wish you would.
Around.
I would have had the camera rolling. That
yeah, I know
awesome.
you would.
That would have been, we could have went viral, Don. Yeah, speak up anytime we're together. I'm for it.
Yeah. That's as long as you're a pier runner one day, we'll switch.
Yeah, that's right. We'll switch it up.
Have you heard any more about Royal and Celebrity merging the cruise, I guess, points?
Jenny was talking about that the other day. I don't know. I think you do. I don't know. I'll just say I don't know. Yeah.
They are planning to do it. So because the Celebrity's getting the bigger ships again now, and that's your upgrade, right? From Royal to Celebrity. So they're trying to merge people to allow more first-time cruisers and beginning cruisers to get on the Royal, so they have more, and work them up that way, sort of thing. So that's kind of their game plan, according to their experts when they train us on the ships. Was their game plan?
Yeah.
A little hi from Chris Ryback. Hi, Chris.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And oh boy, these questions fly by so fast. Ooh. All right. Well, I'll just say goodbye to that person. Okay. I saw it. There we go. Here we are. Hi, guys. I'm considering a Canadian cruise for October 2024. Which would be a better experiencing Canadian culture? A Canada to England cruise or a river cruise? I'd say you see more of Canada if you're, as far as a Canadian cruise, if you're going up the coast, visit all the different provinces, you get a really good taste for it. To do that on the river cruise, it's going to take a longer time. And yeah, you won't be able to get up to the far side of Newfoundland and Labrador and all that places. So I'd say the river, go with a full cruise up the coast.
Like I thought about doing some sort of series about where we recommend bucket list cruises. I can't recommend that New England Canada cruise enough. To your point there, we saw a bunch of different cultures, even up the east coast of the United States, leaving out of New York, going to Boston, going to Maine. Like, everything was different just in those ports. And then when we hit the Maritimes, those places were different. And then when we got to Quebec, it was really fascinating, and it was a great cruise because we were always kind of close to land. We had good internet the whole time. It was really, we saw a lot of cool stuff on that cruise, and I think maybe being from North America, maybe we take it for granted, but it was good. I would highly recommend that cruise, and I feel like I got a sense of what Canada was like. It was wild when we went to.
Yeah, we're very mean to you, Tony.
Yeah, where were we? St. John or something like that, and they're like, "Yeah, man, we were mad when you guys broke off and got independent." I was like, "Wow, okay," but it was good. I thought it was really nice.
I remember that. Would you advise against the MSC Magnifica? Never been on MSC. I wouldn't advise against anything. North American MSC is far different than European MSC. We enjoy ourselves when we're on MSC. Keep your expectations like it's not going to be super amazing food and stuff like that. It's going to be good food.
Yeah, the way I describe MSC is I feel like they get their crew from different places as, say, some of the other cruise lines, even their entertainers. And I kind of like it because I don't necessarily need somebody that's that interested in me. Like, I don't need to, I'm not looking to make friends really with anybody. It's just my personality. And so the service on MSC is they'll serve you and take care of you, but it's not like a warm and fuzzy service. And sometimes people want that, right? It's not a rude service or anything. It's a proficient service, but it's not like, it's not like I don't want to say it's not friendly, but it's not like you're becoming friends with those people, if that makes any sense. But I like it. I like that aspect of it.
Shell Harkness has a question. I'm worried that I will have to fly the same day as embarkation as bought through the cruise line. I have insurance. Should I be worried? You can also call, well, for one thing, you can call the cruise line and ask them to change your flight to the day before if you wish. I just had an example just the other day of somebody was only flying an hour from their hometown. Their flight was canceled the same day and they missed the flight and they were standing there at the ship watching it sail away. So you never know. You never know. And it's one of the most scary things I ever have to do is when I have to like fly in that day because I avoid it at all costs.
So you think maybe I should change my Barcelona flight? I'm scheduled to be there an hour before the cruise leaves.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I think
that's how you're going to do the pier runner.
Yeah, I think I'm coming in. We're both coming in 2 days before the cruise or a day. Yeah. The way. So are you leaving one day and then your flight gets there the next day? Is that how it's working with the time change?
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm trying to remember that the 26th to the 3rd. So I fly out on the 3rd to Ottawa on the 4th, and I fly out on the 5th to Barcelona. So
I fly out on the 5th to Barcelona, but I don't actually land until the 6th.
To the 6th, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the flights that far all go at night, right? So
yeah, so that's good. I mean, we'll get there. I think I'm supposed to get there 7 a.m. on the 6th, and that means we'll have all day the 7th to go see something in Barcelona if we want. They say the hop on, hop off is pretty good there, so maybe we'll do the hop on, hop off.
Did you take a look at the hotel that I'm staying
No, I need to look. Did you book something? Is it going to break the bank or is it reasonable?
Well, they have different variables.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted an ocean view, so I booked an ocean view. So that was my main thing for me.
Yeah. So what's it like cruising with Don? It's like I'm little orphan Annie and he's Daddy Warbucks over there.
Only when I sometimes. Here we go. Russell, good evening, Don and Tony. Thanks for the information. Well, thank you so much. And I love Russell? The little love boat picture they have on their thing there.
Yeah, we've cruised with Russell several times. That's one of the things I miss seeing Russell.
Taking my mother on her first cruise. Well, very nice of you in March. NCL Epic. What's one thing we should do? Ocho, Grand K, Cozumel. Love you both. One thing you can think of. Well, the mother, I'm thinking older. What's the one thing to do? What's the beach place you like in Cozumel?
Yeah, Paradise Island. Is that
Paradise.
I think so. That's what I would do. I would do a beach club in Cozumel. It's really easy to get to. Just jump in the taxi, and then you get a full day of lounging by the pool or getting in the ocean and all the food and drink you want. Is that what it's called? Paradise Island? Jenny B is at Paradise Island. I don't know why it's slipping my mind right now, but Jenny B's in the chat, so she'll put it there.
She'll put it up.
Yeah,
because that's the one we went to on the group that time, right?
Yeah, no, it's really nice there. Ocho Rios, I've never left the port. I haven't really done an excursion in Jamaica. Ocho Rios has a nice port area. You can get a Jamaican patty and Jamaican coffee there. There's shops there, and there's a nice walking around. There's usually some live music, so that could be a place where you just bebop around. And then Grand Cayman's got a nice beach area, Margaritaville, that kind of thing. All of those ports are kind of about fun in the sun, but Cozumel, Paradise Beach. Why is it called Paradise Island? Yeah, Paradise Beach Club is in Cozumel, and it's really nice.
Yeah, Paradise Island was a completely other reality show.
Yeah. I feel like maybe there's something in the Bahamas called Paradise Island that we've gone to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prior to COVID, y'all both used to do more ship tours, but when COVID hit, you turned to cruise news, which I still enjoy. Can you also add more content? We were just talking about that. We can't wait. I'm actually got some new cameras, stuff that I've picked up and everything. So I'm going to be doing a lot more full ship tours and everything now that the news is not quite as dramatic as it was going into COVID. Like we had news stories almost every day talking about, right? So yeah, I think at least for myself, I'll be doing that. I'm pretty sure you would be too a little bit.
I think I did 4 ship tours last year, so I didn't completely abandon them. One of the most popular videos on the channel right now is the Carnival Celebration ship tour. That might have been in 2022. End of 2022, but definitely after COVID. So yeah, I think it's an interesting thing because, we started doing the cruise news during COVID, and I think, when we make it's a tough thing because we try to put some sort of cruise entertainment on our channels on a daily basis. And even though there's other stuff that's performing better than the news right now, I feel weird kind of abandoning the news. I mean, it's kind of what we do. And I'm a little hesitant to chase the views. I like what we do. Right. And so I think it would be cool to add some other things like ship tours, but I'm firmly committed to doing the news, right? So I'm kind of ride or die with the news. I like the ability to, curate the news and to comment on the news. And so it's a weird thing. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have a ship tour of the Jubilee. I'll have a ship tour of the Sun Princess. You'll have a ship tour of the Icon. But, like when I just went on the Caribbean Princess, it's more, when I went to Canada, I was more into the ports. And then, the last time I was with my family. So I think it's just going to depend on the ship, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot depends on the news.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Hi, Don. Met you last year in the Harmony while waiting for Greece. Got a horrible flu and got off. Others got sick too. And your fellow travelers were okay. We were fine. That was with my nephews, Paul and Mark. And we were feeling really good when we got back. So luckily for us, can't say the same thing for our last group cruise. We had a lot of people came down sick and COVID and that. And you just came off this cruise. You weren't feeling well on our last cruise, Tony.
No, about midway through that cruise, it was more in my sinuses and in my chest, and I'm still trying to shake that thing. I haven't been sick in a long time, so it's kind of weird. I was fortunate during the whole shutdown that I never got sick or anything. So, it's a bummer because I not that I felt like I would never get sick on a cruise, but we interact with a lot of people, right? We shake a lot of hands and kiss a lot of babies. We don't kiss babies, but we do interact with a lot of people. And somewhere along the way, I got the funk.
Mm-hmm. Aaron's got a question for you. Curious why you chose Tulum over Itzia.
Chichen Itza. So I think because I didn't see anything. I thought Chichen Itza was the place I was supposed to go. Like I thought that was the important one. And then the only ruins they were offering from Cozumel was Tulum from an excursion perspective. So maybe I'll look on Costa Maya and see if that's an option. I really thought that Chichen Itza was the one to go to, but I didn't see an excursion for it. So I booked the Tulum.
Oh, and somebody piped in saying Paradise Island is where Atlantis is.
That's what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And we're almost out of time here, Tony, but I just thought this was a nice way to end it off, to update some folks. How are we both doing health-wise? Well, I literally just had my latest CT scan this week, Wednesday evening at like 9:30 at night. It was a very weird experience. It was the weirdest one I've ever had, and I've had like 20 or 30 of them. But it got done, and now I just have to wait for the results. I feel good. Health-wise, I'm no aches, no pains, no other stuff. So hopefully, fingers crossed, no problem there. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. So I've got to get my thyroid removed, and I finally have a date scheduled for the surgery. So I'm going to do the big Sun Princess cruise. And when I come back, I'm going to have the thyroid surgery. And they say it'll take about a month to recover for that. And then, of course, I'm trying to lose some weight before we go on the Sun Princess so I can survive walking all over these crazy ports. But that's been going pretty good. I've been trying a different way of eating this week, and I've dropped a few pounds. So I'll have a weight loss update out probably Monday. Well, Monday's Christmas, so Tuesday or Sunday, I'll update to see what my weight is. But I feel pretty good. I'm a little sick coming off that cruise still. I threw my back out a little bit trying to move stuff around to get places for the kids to sleep at the house. But overall, not too bad.
All right. Well, it's top of the hour. I think I just want to wish everybody and yourself, you and Jenny and all your family coming over tomorrow, a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I will see you in about just over a month live there. We'll be talking before then because we got to arrange, we're going to probably hop around Barcelona before we get there.
Yeah.
Everything. And I just wanted to say everybody out there, Merry Christmas as well. And Tony, why don't you send us off for the evening?
Well, I just want to echo the same thing. there's a lot of really cool things that have come into our lives, Jenny and I, our lives, because of being a part of the cruising community, and definitely getting to know you, Don, over the years is one of those things. And so I'm very thankful for that. Merry Christmas to you and your family as you guys celebrate. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody out there. And just looking forward to 2024. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And my name's Tony.
And I'm Don.
And
we'll see you on the
Lido.
There you go.
All
Have
right.
a fantastic Christmas, everybody.
Bye-bye.